Hello and welcome to the 4D and Candace Crowe Design Marketing Webinar Series. My name is TK Crowe. We do have some guests that are joining the waiting room now and will be admitted over the next couple of minutes. This will be recorded and will be available to all of the registrants after the webinar, but we are excited to have you here. My name is TK Crowe and I'll be moderating today's webinar. I would first like to introduce the team from 4D. We have Sean Mahoney, the VP of Sales.
Hi, thanks to everyone for joining today. We've got some familiar faces and some new ones. So we're excited to showcase this partnership with BRAG Book to show you, how it extends what's possible with 4D.
Awesome, thanks, Sean. And we also have Christy Summer, their implementation specialist.
Hello, everyone. It's great to meet everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Christy. And the star of today's show, Candace Crowe, the president of Candace Crowe Design.
You can tell that's my son right there. It's been a family business and he's worked here since his childhood, I believe. I want to take a moment to thank everybody for joining in today. I know it's a half hour out of your day and I hope you get such valuable information that it helps you. We have a wide variety of attendees. We have BRAG Book clients. We have 4D EMR clients. We have a hospital with a variety of several doctors. We have solo practitioners. We have med spas, friends and fellow vendors on. There were about 50 or so that registered, so they may be trickling in as we go, but we like to run our meetings on time so that you know what to expect each and every time. We start on time.
Awesome. Yeah. So the topic of the day is how to leverage your before and afters using 4D, EMR, and BRAG Book. So first, we're going to dive into what is BRAG Book. And Candace, could you start the conversation about that?
Absolutely. We've worked with plastic surgery practices for 24 years. And we built a educational kiosk back in those days. And then the internet came along and we had a before and after gallery in that kiosk. And those doctors would ask us, can we put this on our website? And at that time, the internet was slow. You had to have little tiny pictures, but we believed that we could put it on their website. So we started building an admin tool so that they could do that. And over the course of the 10 years, our clients have given us such great input on how to improve it. We just write all those down and little by little, we figure out how to implement those things. And it's become quite a SaaS software with automated SEO, Photoshop Lite inside of it. And this is a first, the integration with an EMR where in, 1 or 2 clicks, you can get those photos over to BRAG Book and onto your website. So we're very excited about that. We have similar values, the 4D EMR, we value our clients. We have a no hostage policy. If you ever want to leave us, we bless you and let you go. No long-term clients and a 30-day money-back guarantee. We want to make sure that you are happy and overly satisfied with the work we do. So that's a little bit about BRAG Book.
All right, great. Thank you, Candace. And now we'll have Sean tell us a little bit about 4D.
So 4D, it is an evolution in practice management software. For some obvious and not so obvious reasons. It was built by a practicing plastic surgeon, Dr. Robert Pollock, and he understands the way your offices work. It's a full-featured, HIPAA-compliant, cloud-based solution, and it allows access from any device. If you've got a Chrome or Safari browser, that's all you need. Candace spoke to the integration aspect. We choose our integration partners very carefully. With the goal of generating valuable synergies among the various components of your practice. One such component is marketing, and our partnership with BRAG Book is a great example of that. They bridge the gap between your clinical before and after images in 4D and a sophisticated SEO optimized image gallery on your website. Back to you guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean. So One of the highlights of the 4D and BRAG book integration is just how smoothly you can get before and afters onto your website. And that can be done, within 3 to 5 clicks of a button. And really the key point here is that we try to remove steps from as many steps from the process as we can, so that we can help your practices run as efficiently as possible.
Absolutely. All of us don't like to do double entry. It's painful. It's boring. It really is something that we want to just scream at sometimes. So on our side, we're trying to do that. And I know that 4D EMR is also doing that within their software. So this
Double entry is no fun.
Absolutely. So Sean, if you wouldn't speak to the traditional way, okay, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I think most of us can remember or are currently in the process of the more traditional route of getting before and afters onto your website, where, you have to identify the result. You have to make sure that the proper releases are signed. You have to gather the photos in a folder, and then you email them over to your web company, and you just kind of wait. And that process can take weeks, if not longer. And the real highlight of this integration with 4D is that from one platform, you can gather your photos. You can ensure all of the proper releases have been signed. You can mark the dates when they were taken so that the pre-op and post-op timeframes. And then with a click of the button, you can send them right over to BRAG book and post them to your website. So now we're just going to have Christy kind of walk through that process of how simple it is to get the before and afters from 4D to BRAG book.
Sure. So with simply going into the patient's chart, and once we've gone in there, we're going to go into the media section. And within the media section, you're going to have your photo gallery. And we can choose the 2 pictures. As you can see up at the top of the screen, we let you show that though the patient has already signed a consent, and they're allowing us to post these to social media or our website anonymously. So then we can go over to more. And this is where we can put in any sort of information about the photos. So when they were taken, what provider performed the procedure, the name of the procedure. If there's been a quote in the system, you can also link it with the quote and put in the date of that procedure. You can rate it, and you can add any keywords that you would like to this as well. So once we have that saved, you're then able to go back into more, and there's an option to send it to BRAG book. And up in the top left corner, you get that message that it was sent.
Awesome. Thanks. That looks really simple, Christy. And then once the photos have been sent to BRAG book, you simply log into BRAG book. You get a notification right there at the top that you have a set of imported images to look at, to review. You click review set. You select a procedure for those images, and then it's as simply as taking a look at the images, categorizing them into their before and after columns. 4D does pull over a lot of the information about the case, but we do like to write a little story. And then you hit submit, and those photos have been sent to your website. It's as simple as that.
So we did speed the video up a little bit, so you're not waiting 2 minutes while it does that. But and it can take even a little more. The more data entry that you do, it would take longer. But in as little as 2 minutes, you can get it done.
Yep.
So now we're going to move on to the second part, and that's automated SEO.
Right. So a lot of the features of BRAG book implemented on a website are the SEO value that it adds. Each case that you upload to BRAG book is going to add a marked up for SEO, a optimized page marked up around whatever procedure those cases get uploaded to. For example, breast augmentation. So as you're adding cases to your website, you're increasing your authority around that keyword or procedure. That's a lot of the automated SEO. There's a lot of other features within the BRAG book that allow for uniformness of presentation, There is some minor lighting adjustment that you can do to really balance out the lighting in both photos, as well as some nice touches to make them look professional, like watermarks and
Censoring,
censoring,
cropping.
like
There's a
that.
overlay to
Mhm.
match up top of the head to the bottom of the chin, or just to get them matched up nice, perfectly even. But we've got a best practices on that we've put together, and that'll either get out to you this afternoon or tomorrow.
And so just to highlight an example, you can see here that the keyword for breast augmentation is used in the title. It's used in the URL. It's also in the meta description and alt tags for all of the various photos and areas that it would be used on each case. Another kind of best practice, and we're just going to allow this to play a little bit. And you can see here the watermarks that automatically get added. But another kind of key aspect of a good before and after gallery on your website is showcasing multiple angles and then as much data about each case as you can. You'll see here on this set that we load, we have, I believe it's 3 angles on this, but it just helps give the viewer a better understanding of the result and what their expectations can be for that procedure. Oh, I'm sorry, I went too fast. Go ahead.
That's right. So again, this can be styled to match the layout of your website. Right now we showed you the single column and then the larger view, but it can be a double column. It can be all of the before and afters from every category on one page. So when they land on your gallery, they see all of the. But we are offering like one-on-one consultation. We go through your gallery with you, look at what you want to do with the gallery, and then make some recommendations. So be sure to sign up through Calendly, which will be in the email that we send out after this, to go through that free evaluation and a demo of BRAG book.
Yeah, we did have some guests just join us, so I would just like to remind everyone that the video for this webinar will be sent out in a follow-up email tomorrow. So if you missed the first part of the webinar, you will be able to catch up tomorrow.
If not today, we'll get it out.
And just to highlight some more best practices for before and after galleries. Viewers of your website are going to judge your gallery, judge your practice based on the quantity of photos, the quality of the results, and then the presentation of those photos. And generally, they're not going to know the difference, but I mean, they'll be able to see the visible difference between a good result and a not so great result, but they're going to be able to tell the difference between a photo that the lighting is off in the after versus the before, the patient is wearing makeup in one and not the other. And so those
door open behind them, and
right, the backgrounds are different, things like that. So those are the things that we want to try to control for as much as possible, and kind of create that appearance of a large quantity of before and afters.
So you can notice these clavicle to clavicle, hip bone to hip bone, and they look great that way, cropped at the arms, about the same, kind of the same angle. And there are some editing tools that are in BRAG book, but we also have, if some practices use Photoshop, we also have some templates that we can send to you.
Yeah, and I mean, you're welcome to Google this practice and go to their procedure pages, and you'll see that the most popular have several dozen before and afters, which really just kind of creates that
they are
of experience.
Relatively new client, just getting started with BRAG book. They do have 4D EMR, and they are used in the integration tool. So it's been fun to watch them. They've gotten maybe 200 or 300 before and afters loaded just in the last couple of months, and they're all of pretty much superb quality.
Yeah.
I believe, Hannah, are you on?
I don't think she is. We won't be able to hear her.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't believe she is, but I spoke with her this morning about the integration and the photos, and she was explaining to me just how much better traffic the office has gotten since they've gone to a more formalized setup, both in their office for taking before and after photos, but her being on top of making sure that they get uploaded to BRAG Book and how easy it is.
Very good. Thank you, Christy.
Awesome. Thanks, Christy.
So this is a solo provider, but for a multiple provider, quite often they will use a group gallery so that it looks like they have a lot of before and afters, and then they'll have individual galleries for each provider on that same website. And then they use it as a tablet app in a consultation. Each provider has their own link to their own gallery on the tablet app, and they use it that way.
Yeah, BRAG Book is flexible to be customized based on your specific requirements for your practice, whether it's multi-provider, solo, you're attached to a web hospital, or however your practice is set up. We will be attaching to the follow-up email, I think, about 10 tips for best practices for a website gallery. So whether or not you end up using BRAG Book or the integration, we would like to help everyone improve their website gallery. So expect that in the follow-up email as well.
So here's our challenge to you today is everybody knows that a good gallery is usually the most popular part of a website. Users just like to see what they're going to get. And so in your area, pick your 3 top competitors and really do a deep dive into what it's like to be a patient. Put their shoes on for a moment. Look through your competitors' gallery, page by page. Think about, how your gallery is. Then look through yours. Count how many before and afters they have. Count how many you have. Are your before and afters presenting you in the best light possible? And then it's very difficult for doctors to do the choosing of before and afters in some cases, because they're clinical and they may have a very hard, tough case, and they know that there were challenges with it and they did a great job, but the patient may not be able to see that and they may not interpret it as a great job. So just getting in the shoes of a patient and looking through the gallery is such valuable information for you. So that's our challenge to you. Research by RX Photo states that 91% of cosmetic consumers will research 2 cosmetic practices websites, and a quarter of all respondents, 25%, will do 10. 10 galleries. So my challenge is just your top 3. I don't want to make you do all 10, but just by doing the top 3, you'll get a really good idea of how the potential patient sees you.